Hello, chess family. It's me, National Master Jesse James, and today we're looking at a new segment, my own personal games. We'll be seeing a lot of different games that I'm playing against local players here, and even some where I get to play against some national masters and grandmasters. Well, the first game I decided to go through, I wanted to make it a fun one. This was one I actually played against a local player here, Angel Reyes, and this was played during the San Antonio Club Championship 2022. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It was actually a miniature game, which, yeah, try to figure out the moves. The reason why I'm showing these is just how the process of thinking that is used by a master. Let's take a look at my first player, in this game. Here we go. In this game, I was playing with the white pieces. So we start with e4, and my opponent goes ahead and plays knight f6. This is the Alekhine defense. Angel has been playing this for quite a few years, and I'm not against it. I like when my opponents play these types of openings. White is able just to get a good center here, and well, just go for the attack. In this game, I got pretty aggressive. I went ahead and played pawn to e5, which is part of the main line. Knight d5, and here there's a few different moves to get an advantage, but I guess I was feeling particularly zesty that day and I played knight to c3. Now this is almost like an idea of the English attack, and this is exactly how I play it. He went ahead and took on c3. I played d takes c3, knight c6 to defend the pawn, and here I think one of the best moves to defend, bishop f4. Now this is already showing an aggressive tendency. What I'm trying to do is, again, that English attack where you go queen d2 and then castle queenside. After that, if they castle kingside, you just push your pawns forward. And the reason why I don't play knight to f3 here, which is a typical move, is because I know pawn to d6 is coming. And, well, if you try to play, like, pawn takes here, pawn takes, I think I like black's position here as he has both pawns in the center. And you have to be a little careful here. For instance, if you play bishop f4 now, bishop g4 gets played. And again, I'm not liking my position too much here. Alright. So, I went ahead and played bishop f4. I want to try and castle as soon as possible. And my opponent should have played the pawn move to d6 here to make my pawn unstable in the center. Luckily for me, he went pawn to d5, and now I can just maintain my pawn in the center. Again, I don't really have any ideas of actually trading here as well. Again, that just gives him the center, and black is already slightly better. Alright, well, let's keep up the development. What should I play next here? Here I played bishop d3. I'm going to refrain from playing knight f3 as long as possible, because again, I don't want bishop g4 to happen. I find this very annoying. I can play h3 here, bishop takes, but typically this bishop is not too good in a lot of these lines, so I want to try and restrain and maintain here. Bishop d3, pawn g6. My opponent's telling me he's going to go ahead and fianchetto and go ahead and go to the king side. I'm very happy to see this because, well, whenever I start pushing my pawn up forward, now I'm going to be able to attack right here right away. Also, you have to be a little careful here because when bishop g7 gets played, the pawn on e5 is going to become pretty weak here. So what should I play here? Again, knight f3 I don't want to play because I don't want to deal with that pin. So that leads me to the second move, which is queen to e2. Alright, bishop g7 got played. Castles, castles. Things are getting a little bit heated here. Hopefully you know what's the best way to play whenever it's opposite side castling. Alright, hopefully you got the idea correct. Whenever it's opposite castling, the best thing to do here is go ahead and push your pawns forward. So I want to push my h and g pawn and trade them for these ones. And then I want to play my rooks over here and then just attack this naked king. And vice versa, black wants to do the same thing. Black wants to go ahead and push over here on the queen side as soon as possible. And then trade off for these pawns. And again, put these rooks over here and checkmate. Again, this king will be barren and not have anything to hide from whenever the pawns have been traded off. So that's the game here. Whoever can get that first typically is going to win the game. So what do I play here? I want to open up on the king side. Should I play the g pawn out or should I play the h pawn out? This is something that a lot of beginners will get wrong here. Alright, what was the answer? Hopefully you got it right. It is h4. Hey, what's wrong with g4? Well, g4 does not help me open up the position because, okay, I can go g5, and then what happens? Remember, to win your games, especially like this, we need to open files and diagonals. So we're looking for pawn trades. The idea of h4 is to play h5. When you take here, you're going to open up the rook's file, and the attack will begin. So h4 got played. My opponent understood this. He played pawn h5. So how do I break this h5 move? Well, I need to get control over g4 here. f3, g4 is going to be the main plan we're going to try. But before I do that, I want to make sure I develop all my pieces. So I continued with knight to h3, bishop to e6. It looks like he was just giving me a free tempo here, as my knight was heading to g5 anyways. My opponent's not paying attention, this idea will happen. For instance, a5, knight g5, a4, and then pawn to e6. And here, this is something I was very much looking forward to because, well, the lines are going to get opened up whether he likes it or not. If he's played something like f6, oof, I might even sacrifice here with bishop takes g6 and queen takes h5 ideas. Here, there's already some fun attacking chances here. So that was the main idea. So when he played bishop e6, I was all but happy to go ahead and play knight g5, a free tempo. Queen d7 is played. And again, I want to prepare this g4 move now that I have all my pieces developed. So I played pawn to f3. Here, my opponent did not understand the attack was coming so fast and plays the move rook to d8. All right, your turn to move, white to move. What do we play here? Of course, we're going to play pawn to g4. With that being said, I hope you find the next move correctly here. Here, oof, it's already becoming a difficult position for him. He went ahead and played h takes g4. What do we play now? White to move. Hopefully none of you guys at home played f takes g4, as bishop takes g4 makes things a lot harder. The h5 square is being covered, and also, well, I'm about to lose the exchange here too. I don't want to play knight f3 here because, well, if putting yourself into a pin is something you don't want to do. So, hopefully you found the right move here. Pawn to h5. Let's open up this h-file and checkmate. Pawn takes an f3. And what do we play here? Of course, we don't take the f3 pawn. We play queen h2. But it's such a powerful idea. If h takes g6 and checkmate on h7. Here, there really is no good moves anymore. The game is pretty much over. But my opponent decided just to play on for a few more moves. Bishop to f5. I'm not too sure why this was played. I was thinking about playing pawn e6 in some of these lines, but I saw the best idea is usually the simplest idea. So I just took on g6 here. Queen h7, checkmate threat. Bishop h3, only move. If he tries to play bishop takes g6, white to move and win, what do you play? Simple chess. I want to play queen to h7, checkmate. This bishop's blocking. You can simply just play bishop takes on g6. And here there's nothing good to do. If they take, well, then you just mate. Oof. Very tough position here for my opponent. Here, I went ahead and just played h takes g6, and he played bishop to h3. Should I take with the queen? Should I take with the knight? Here, there's so many winning moves here, you just got to make a choice. Here, I chose the simplest one and played knight takes h3. I want to keep the queens on the board to keep up checkmating ideas. All right, knight takes on e5. Again, I was calculating lots of different things here. Knight to g5 because I want to cover the escape square. And again, I just chose a simple move. Let's just play bishop takes on e5. He took on g6. Simple chess, knight g7. And, well, at this point, my opponent went ahead and resigned. I have now so many forced different checkmates here that it was really hard for him. He did mention after the game that he might have played rook f7 here, which I was happy to hear because, well, can you see the checkmate in 2 here? Hopefully you see it. Queen to h8, bishop takes, and rook takes on h8 for check and mate, which would have been a very satisfying position to have at the end. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was my little miniature from San Antonio Chess Club. First round in the tournament, which I was able to win and become the club champion again. I'll see you guys in the next video.